What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We have the first ever MLB game in Tennessee and the first ever game in a NASCAR Speedway thing. Fans were not happy because there was bunless hot dogs and they had to come back the next day to even finish the game. There might be a new Yankee destroyer and his name is Kyle Stowers. Yankees fans better be thankful because he used to be on the Orioles in their own division. This rookie for the White Sox literally might be the next Corey Seager. It's unreal what he's done to begin his career with the lowly White Sox. Johan Duran was pumping 103. Ramon Laureano is already hitting home runs with his brand new team, so those trades are looking good already. Unlike the Guardians, who are in the running for maybe the worst trade of all time because this guy is going off with the Pirates after the Guardians had him and then traded him away for a guy who could be banned forever, but also that guy who is banned forever is linked to the Francisco Lindor trade, so we'll talk about it later. Again, this is MLB Recap. We recap every baseball game and big story every single day, so grow the game with me, leave a like, and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to save 20 bucks off all of your baseball tickets or concert tickets, use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek, and do not miss out on all of the free stuff you get on Underdog Fantasy with code Fuzzy. You get a free mystery MLB pick'em up to $1,000 in bonus cash credit. A lot of you guys have been raking it in, but as always, please play responsibly. So because I wasn't able to post yesterday, I missed out on one of the most random 3 home run games ever. Well, I guess random for you guys, not random for a baseball savant like me. Obviously, I'm joking, but I did tell you guys a week ago when Liover Peguero is healthy, his swing path, his barrel rates, and his speed can result in some pretty fun baseball. There you go. And now, back to yesterday's games. We have the first ever Speedway Classic. Day 1 was a mess by all accounts, at least from people I saw on social media. People were saying that they were being served hot dogs without buns. You can't have a bunless glizzy. If that wasn't bad enough, we had nachos without cheese. They're not even nachos at that point. They're just chips. Now, day 2 was a lot more clean. The sun was out. And we finally got to see some baseball. Now, a reminder, this was the first ever game in the state of Tennessee, and these first few clips were from the night before the game got suspended. Austin Riley, man, he got soaked on that dive. Austin Hayes, he drove in the first run. Now we get to fast forward to the second day. Ellie with the speed. He steals third base. But check this out. Austin Riley, he snagged it on the backhand. He then caught up to Ellie. What a play and what a swing. Eli White, he was the entire, and I mean the entire Braves offense. That's a 3-run home run. Break out the home run car. See, that's a lot of fun. We've never seen that before, and you better gas that car back up because it's got to get back on the track. Eli White with his second of the game again. He was the entire Braves offense. Here's Ke'Bryan Hayes, though, the bases-loaded rocket that Luke Williams stopped. Ozzie Albies then turned into a first baseman with the stretch. Raisel Iglesias, he converted his 14th save of the season, so that is the first ever Speedway Classic game. They had a trophy and everything. Did you like it or not? I thought the visuals were pretty fun, not gonna lie. Carlos Correa had gone over a month without a home run for the Twins, so naturally, in his second or third game with the Astros, obviously, okay, it's not on this swing. Attaboy, Romy Gonzalez, he keeps it scoreless for Lucas Giolito. There it is. Carlos leaned on this one. Twins fans were like, hey, where was that the last month, buddy? From there, though, I mean, scoreboard, it was all Red Sox. Framber, he kept getting rocked not only by the Red Sox offense, but also by mental mistakes. Trevor Story now has 48 RBIs with a 295 batting average and an almost 900 OPS his last 55 games. And by the way, the Red Sox, they are 15 games over 500 in those 55 games, including this one. Cedar Rafaela had an RBI single. There was a balk. Framber never fully came set. There was a sac bunt, and Framber is just straight up folding. More folding, there was a wild pitch. Obviously, that resulted in a sac fly. There was an RBI ground out. It wasn't really too exciting after that, just a lot of mental mistakes. Lucas Giolito went, how many? 8 innings? He allowed 3 base hits, which is key for the bullpen. Going 8 innings just saves your pen for the next week or two. Since he allowed 7 earned runs on June 4th, he has a 2 ERA over 10 starts. The Red Sox have won 5 in a row. And then there's the Yankees, who are on the verge of allowing their first ever sweep to the Miami Marlins. Trent Taters are always fun to watch. He went 412 feet for his 20th of the season. Luis Gil, who's back, just maybe he shouldn't have been back this soon. He did not have it. He walked a few guys. Both of those scores on this Torrey Johnston base hit. Those are his first career RBI. Xavier Edwards, he kept it moving with an RBI single. Jason almost missed a Kyle Stowers fly ball, so it's a sac fly. But Jason with his -6 outs above average, are we ever going to see him get used to the left field angles and spin? It doesn't seem like it. He looks terrible out there day in and day out. And then occasionally he'll have a web gem. Oh my, Kyle Stowers, he went yard again. The lefty crime, a 3-run home run. He has 25 long balls on the season. He has 23 RBIs his last 15 games. He is the modern day, I mean, modern day David Ortiz, can we call him that? The new Yankee killer? Jazz Chisholm Jr. had a 2-run home run, which is cool and all, but we got to focus on this guy, the rookie Jacob Marcy. He stole back the momentum, and it really looks like Trent Grisham runs in slow motion out there in center field sometime. This Marcy kid has 4 hits his first 3 big league games, 3 doubles and a triple. In the minor leagues, he showed off the really good eye. He had a ton of walks, he had extra base hits, he had stolen bases all over the place. Volpe then struck out, so that is a sweep. The Marlins, are they coming for a playoff spot? They've won 5 in a row. I got to tip my cap to the GM Peter Bendix. He is building, I'm not going to say super team, but a young and talented team on paper who's going to get better and better with more confidence. The Yankees are now 18-27, 9 games under 500 since June 13th. It's almost impressive that they commit to this bit every single season. They storm out the gates red hot, then they have a full-blown meltdown every June and July, and then they turn it back up and go on a playoff run. But a lot of people have been saying this doesn't feel like that. Like, they're going to turn it up, yeah, and they're going to feel good, but that they might be a first or second round exit. And if you're looking at the NL, it's going to be tough to beat a lot of those teams because the NL's stacked. New York better thank their lucky stars, or whatever the saying is, that the Blue Jays have been pretty bad over the last week or so. They're 2-5 their last 7. Maybe they can turn it around in this one. Bassett had 4 no-hit. Okay, it's not going to be 5, but still though, 6 innings, 1 base hit. That is awesome. We're in the 8th inning now, and Straw and Loperfido drove in 2, so the Jays are up. I mean, they were up. Bobby Witt Jr., he hit his 37th double. He's on pace for 54. And Vinny, he forced extras. He sliced a 99 fastball to center field. That was off the newcomer, Louis Varland. He blew it. He's going to be really good, but that's not fun. Bobby, no hit for you, Alejandro Kirk. Again, we needed free baseball, extra innings in this game. Kyle Isbel and the Royals went off for 4 in the 10th inning. Isbel, he had a double down the line. 2 more scored on a base hit from Tyler Tolbert, so we have some alliteration going on. And Sir Anthony Dominguez, he, just like Louis Varland, he kind of blew it. Kirk, he lost it. Michael, wait, that's the 5th run of the 10th inning. I got that wrong. Nathan Lucas and Addison Barger, they tried to rally to no avail. The Jays are now 2-6 their last 8. There's no way the kid did it again. Colson Montgomery's White Sox are a whole new team, a brand new team. Even Luis looks better ever since Colson debuted because he's got that protection now. Luis is hitting .355 since Colson Montgomery's debut. Colson Montgomery has 7 home runs, and he leads everyone in RBI since the All-Star break. He grabbed another RBI, so 21 RBI in the second half already. Christian Moore, I did not know that he's back. That's a sick double play with Zach Neto, and these guys are going to clutch up with the stick. Okay, never mind. Luis Robert Jr., he robbed Christian Moore of a base hit. Neto, no one is robbing this one. This guy is a fantasy freak. The Angels, they're on the board. Taylor Ward makes it 5-2. Trouty scored on a wild pitch. So this second RBI extra base hit from Neto means it's a tie game, a 2-run double. The Angels went from maybe losing 4 in a row after the GM Perry Menage and whatever he said out loud, yeah, the vibes are awesome, we're going to go for it. And again, they were about to lose 4 in a row, but Taylor Ward said, nah, I'm walking this off. He has 26 home runs and 82 RBI. He's on pace for over 35 home runs and over 100 RBIs. That's insane. The Halos do improve to 5.5 games back in the wild card. I forgot to mention that the Royals are 3.5 games back. The Rangers can get within 1 in one of the biggest series of the year. They're taking on Seattle. In Seattle, DeGrom's on the bump. Jorge Polanco, that's how you get your hands through the zone. Seager, did he have his pitchers back? This ball's back. J-Rod is tracking. It's gone. Seager with the 2-run home run in the same day that his younger self, Colson Montgomery, also had a big day. J-Rod, he snatched the lead back with a 2-run home run of his own. This was a monster swing, not only because it's his 100th career home run, but he just became the first human in the history of baseball to have 4 consecutive 2020 seasons to begin his career. There was a tip of the helmet moment in the dugout. He's standing with the other 2020 guy who's, like 4 or 5 2020s in a row, Randy. Now, the Rangers did tie it momentarily, only to have J.P. Crawford deliver with another clutch bomb. It's 5-3 on J.P.'s 9th of the season. He has 2 home runs the last few days. Adolis, this guy has silly pop. When you can just flick your wrist and connect and it goes out, I mean, that is just ridiculous power. Cal's bat, it's really slowed down, but he can still help out on defense. He throws out Sam Haggerty after the replay, and after that, Andres Munoz collected his 25th save of the year. So the Mariners, they take the series. They're 2 games up in the wild card, and now just 2.5 games back of the Astros for first place in the West. We just talked a lot about 2020 season, so we can't not talk about the Mr. 2020. Yeah, I'm going to need Jose Ramirez to carry my squad because the Twins are coming out hacking. Matt Wallner, he had a perfectly placed single for the first one of the game. Royce Lewis, he's batting .353 with 9 extra base hits his last 13 games, so he's back. Trevor Larnach is already a bad man. He's going to be even badder, like in a good way, like what the kids say. He's going to be bad if he starts seeing lefties. That's a 2-run knock. And here's Mr. 2020, but he wants to be known as Mr. 30-30. He has 23 home runs and 32 stolen bases. It would be his third 30-30 season. By the way, the record is 5, held by Barry Bonds and his dad, Bobby. They both have 5 seasons of 30-30. That family just has crazy genes with or without steroids. Also, forgot to mention, J-Ram has 5 outs above average, so will he win MVP? Will he take it if he goes 40-40 with the Gold Glove? A lot of Judge fans will not like that, or even Bobby Witt Jr. fans or Cal Raleigh fans. It's just a question, okay? Minnesota, look at that, strike him out, throw him out to end a rally by the Guardians. Manzardo, he cannot make the flip later in the game, so that is a huge 5th run from Cody Clemens. It's huge because Cleveland broke out the magic. CJ Kayfus, he doubled for his first career base hit. He got Nolan Jones to third. And Brian Rocchio has 17 RBIs and an .820 OPS his last 25 games. It's a 1-run game. J-Ram's at the dish. Dang it. The Guardians, they're still 3 games back in the wild card, though. Uh-oh. Did Rafael Devers and his new team just wake up? This was the game that Giants fans have been waiting for. I know that Devers had that 2-home-run game a few weeks ago, but this was a team effort slugfest. Their catcher, Patrick Bailey, erased that Lindor home run, which, by the way, Lindor has 21 home runs and 17 stolen bases. He's really close to his 5th 2020 season as well. Just a fun fact from Fuzzy. Devers, he smoked, and I mean, he smoked his 20th home run, a second decker. Pete Alonso, he's way too slow on this throw, so Patrick Bailey, he gets another RBI. Elliot Ramos, he's got some speed in those legs for a big guy. He beats out the throw, so it's an RBI single, and Devers, he's back at it with a 4 RBI game. He needed that after a 4 strikeout game 2 days ago, 2 more strikeouts the day before. Dom Smith, he's getting his payback versus his old team, a 2-run dribbler that just squeaked through. And holy Schmidt, Casey Schmidt with a 3-run home run. The Giants are 6 games back in the wild card, but that game was pitched by the rookie Carson Whisenhunt. He was actually really good. 5 1/3, only 1 earned run with 4 strikeouts. So what are the Giants' chances of making the playoffs? What do they have to do to make it? That's some pretty bad timing for the Mets to lose a ball game because this should have been all-star Christopher Sanchez. He showed up and put the Tigers to bed. I'm talking, he tucked them in and said, night-night. Max Kepler finally did something. He's out, but hey, it's an RBI and a lead for Sanchez. Tarek, he was on the mic talking about Christopher Sanchez and his changeup. He said that Sanchez's changeup is, quote, much better, which is crazy because Tarek has a really good one. Both defenses, they were showing off. Riley Green and Wencel Perez in the outfield for the Tigers. Edmundo Sosa, he saved and run with a dart to home to get Jahmai Jones. Riley's out there diving again. And oh my God, my friend Bryson Stott with the shades of Chase Utley. So that helps Christopher Sanchez complete 8 shutout. And speaking of 8s, this is Kyle Schwarber's 8th home run since the All-Star break. He has 38 home runs on the season. Durantula, Joe Hundrand, he's out again. He tossed a 100-mile-per-hour splitter. Harper, he put on the moon shoes and got his cleat down in time, so that was a scary second out. Duran's third out was even scarier. 103 on the border. Knock on wood, this Phillies team looks unreal. But so does Milwaukee, and they didn't even do a lot at the deadline aside from getting a Danny Jansen, a Shelby Miller who's on the shelf. They did get Andrew Vaughn a couple weeks before the deadline. Maybe that counts, and hey, it's working. F it. They didn't need anyone. After the Yelly single, Bryce Terang banged out his first of 2 on the night. The Nationals played one of the worst games I've ever seen. So there was a bad pickoff move, which allowed a sac fly on the Lyle. Nice little play out in left field. There was another missed throw. Yikes. It continued in the 7th. Just horrible baseball. A hit by pitch with the bases loaded. It was self-infliction after self-infliction. GG's to Brandon Lockridge. He has a 2-run single right here. He's filling in for the injured Jackson Chorio. Joey Ortiz, he had an easy 2-run double. Lockridge, he can fly. It is now 10-1 Milwaukee. 12-1. Bryce Terang, he leaned back on his 2nd home run of the game. Joey Ortiz had a 4 RBI game after another 2-run knock later in the game. The Brewers, man, they embarrassed the Nationals 14-3, and James Wood, he's been broken ever since he started practicing for the home run derby. The Brewers have won 3 in a row. The Cubs are refusing to go away. You Gotta feel bad for Brandon Young, the starter for the Orioles. His fly ball was dropped by his right fielder, so instead of this being a 2-out single for Seiya with no one on, it's 1-0 Cubs, and now 2-0 Cubs after Ian Happ doubled with 2 outs. So again, the inning should be over already. Carson Kelly, he was out at the dish. At least his offense got him off the hook for the L. Gunnar beat the double play. That was almost a generational turn 2 by Dansby and Nico. I don't know if Adley is fully waking up, but he is hitting the baseball a whole lot harder. Ian Happ just flat out missed it, so it's a double. Dansby, he is nearing 80 outs above average for his career. He's going to be in the Hall of Very Good, right? And we are tied. Colton, he has some of the better bat speeds of any outfielder in the game, and you just saw it there on the corkscrew swing. That is so hard for me to say. Corkscrew swing. Say that 10 times fast. Not just on that swing, but after Dansby Swanson untied it, Cowser, he doubled. He put himself in scoring position for Ryan Noda, the former on-base god for the A's back in 2023, and yeah, all that really did was delay the inevitable. Old man Jenkins, Justin Turner, he hits a walk-off 2-run home run. The Cubs are 2 games back of the Brewers, not in the wild card, for the Central. Justin Turner's old team, or should I say old team, like 4 teams ago, it's crazy that he was on the Dodgers 4 teams ago at this point. They had an easy day at the office, kind of, versus the Rays. It took a while because Yamamoto and Joe Boyle, they were stingy. And oh no, Edman, he has a sprained ankle. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Joe Boyle, full credit to him. He went 5 shutout. Did I lie about the Dodgers having an easy day? Freddie made an error. No, I did not. Yamamoto, he ends the jam with a splitter from hell, so he does match with 5 shutout innings. He has a 140 batting average against this splitter with a 41% whiff rate. That is just disgustingly good. Andy Pages, he's really slowed down lately, but he still loves the moment. He's hitting 343 with runners in scoring position. That was all that Yamamoto and the bullpen needed. Freddie added another one just for fun. Same with Mookie after Ohtani doubled over the newcomer Alex Call, and this was all off of the newcomer for the Rays, Griffin Jacks. It's 3-0. Wait, 5-0? No, wait, no. Jake Mangum, he leapt up to snag it. Maybe it's a flip of the script moment. Rally time for the Rays. Ben Kasparius, he bailed out Blake Treinen, and he gets the 1-out save. The Dodgers are 65-47. Same as the Cubs, but the Cubs just have 1 fewer loss. There are so many lethal-looking teams in the NL that if you ask me to put my life savings on one team to make it to the World Series, I'm going to say no thanks because I'm probably going to lose it. The Phillies, the Brewers, the Cubs, the Dodgers. I mean, the Padres added a ton at the deadline, including this guy. Ramon had a single ahead of Jake Cronenworth, who unloaded on this pitch for a 2-run home run into the Crone zone. Jackson Merrill, he's fired up for his teammate, and now he can be fired up for himself. A base clearing, as the broadcast for San Diego would say, triple. He has 18 RBIs his last 17 games. He scored on the Xander sac fly. Ramon, his second base hit of the game, left. He had a double, I think his second or first game as a Padre, and you see what I mean? The Padres are loaded. Robert Suarez has 32 saves thanks to a rare meltdown by Morahan, so it made it a save opportunity. The Padres are 62-50, 4 games up on the Reds in the wild card, and I didn't even get to show Dylan Cease, kind of like the big story of this game. He went 5 scoreless, which is not the longest start, but he allowed 1 base hit with 9 strikeouts. The upstairs fastball set up the breaking pitches in the lower half of the zone. His breaking pitches start high, like fastball level, and just drop all the way down. If he's back, that's very bad news for the rest of the NL, and Nestor Cortez just got activated. He's back. Speaking of back, the Rockies went back to back. Later in the 6th inning, after the Pirates erupted for 4 monster home runs, Tommy Pham went 446 feet on a line. He has an 11-game hitting streak. Those new contacts have not only saved his season, but his life. He's batting .390 with 22 RBIs and an over 1,000 OPS his last 28 games. Spencer Horwitz, there's a drive. He cleared the deck twice with 2 cannonballs. His second one not only was even further, but it was a 3-run home run. He's batting .395 with 7 extra base hits and 15 RBIs. I totally forgot to look at how many games that was over, but over the last few weeks, they got him for Luis Ortiz, who might be banned. We'll talk about that in a second. Mitch Keller, remember what I said earlier? He was good through 5, but then he gave up a 2-run home run to Mickey Moniak that went 433 feet. Hunter Goodman hit the longest one of anyone, 451 feet to the concourse for his 21st of the season. And Jordan Beck made it 3 in a row. So he has 3 home runs his last 5. Kind of sneaky, really good season for Jordan Beck. 14 home runs and 12 stolen bases. That's cool, but they couldn't quite catch the Pirates. Speaking of catch, look at this one. Captain Jack Sawinski, he steals a base in a right field. The Pirates, they seal it. They are 9-3 since July 21st, and now it's time to talk about that all-time bad trade that the Guardians made. So because we just brought up Spencer Horwitz having a monster day in the last few weeks, remember, he was traded for Luis Ortiz, so I do have to mention that Luis Ortiz's locker was cleared out by the Guardians, but also so was Emmanuel Clase's. They got to get some sort of compensation. Just kidding. It's just all-time bad luck and stupidity if it's found out that these guys actually bet on baseball or told their friends and family what they were going to be throwing, which is just as bad. Here's what makes it worse, though. Andrés Giménez was kind of the last piece of the Francisco Lindor trade, the big piece. He was essentially traded for not essentially. He was traded for Spencer Horwitz, who has been insane over the last few weeks, and then Spencer was flipped for Luis Ortiz. So an argument could be made that the Guardians gave away Francisco Lindor, a future Hall of Famer, for one good season of Andrés Giménez, and then they flipped him for Spencer Horwitz, who was immediately flipped for Luis Ortiz, a guy who might be banned forever. So again, you can make the argument that Lindor was flipped for one good season of Andrés Giménez and then a guy who might be banned. That is a once-in-a-lifetime type of horrific trade. It just cannot happen with a player like Francisco Lindor. It's not like they didn't know if he was good or not, like a prospect. He was in the middle of his prime, a future Hall of Famer in the making, and they flipped him for basically one good season of Andrés and a guy who could be banned forever. I mean, I had to recap that. That's insanely bad. What a boring way to get your first career RBI. 28-year-old Connor Kaiser, he debuted in 2023, got 4 at-bats, and he's really had to claw his way back. The Diamondbacks are up another run after Herrera lifted a sac fly. JJ Bleday, he slid over to make the grab. Corbin Carroll, he went to the Bermuda Triangle. And check this out. Tyler Locklear, the big fish in that Eugenio Suarez trade, he's not just a power-hitting first baseman. He's making web gems. He's stealing bases. He can now score on the Alek Thomas single. And looky who it is. First name Nick, last name Kurtz, a 2-run single. He's up to 61 RBIs his first 73 games. That is ridiculous. Blaze Alexander, he kind of took over. It still kind of blows my mind that Jordan Lawler is not in the big leagues. Their season's over, but I don't know if he just can't see big league spin or something, but Blaze, he had a light tower home run, then he had an RBI single, which was insurance for Kyle Nelson, who kind of needed it. JJ, he went left on left. He went 4 for 4 in this game, but Nelson, he did secure the save. And I got a question for you guys. With all the rebuilding and retooling that the Diamondbacks and A's have done, who's going to make it to a World Series first? Arizona or the A's? God, I love making these videos. These are so much fun. Another recap in the books. Thank you guys so much for always showing up and supporting and growing the game of baseball with me. It means just the world to me. Appreciate you guys. See you in the next one, and enjoy the web gems.
Wow. Nice play there by McMahon. Oh, he took a double away from Ramirez, and Ben Rice tags him out.
He had half. Whoa, what a grab by Westburg, plunging at third.